Greetings. Welcome to my weekend market recap 24th September 2022. I am Sagar Nandi, retired IT professional, swing trading stocks using the Q systems and techniques that I developed. You may contact me using my email ID info@superiorprofit.co. I regularly share live market and stock analysis on my website superiorprofit.co, Twitter handle Superior Profit, and YouTube channel Trading Profitably. All these are open to the public and you are most welcome to make use of them. Disclaimer: this demonstration is for educational purposes only. I am not an investment advisor. It is not a trade recommendation. Trading involves risk. You and only you are solely responsible for the outcome of your trades. Options trading can be risky. You may refer to the characteristics and risks of standardized options document from Options Clearing Corporation to decide if options trading is suitable for you. I use the Q systems for my trading. All the Q components run on Metastock platform and the technical analysis component runs on TradeStation as well. Q has multiple components. I use all of them in my trading. That was the last slide. Let's continue with the live system. First, a look at the global markets starting with Australian index, all ordinaries. In the weekly, backdrop color is bearish in shape. In the weekly backdrop color is bearish, shape is bearish. In the daily, also Friday's color and shape both are bearish. It is near the lower edge of the sideways range. Am I going to short now? No, because it is well below lower boundary. It is oversold also. Am I going to buy now? Not on Friday's close, but if Monday price can bounce up from the trendline support, then I will not mind looking at fundamentally strong stocks that may also be reversing from a low price level. What is the trend? It is sideways. What is my preferred trading direction? It's actually long, provided price can go up next week. What about Japan's Topix index? I'll make the same comment for weekly. Backdrop color is bearish, shape is bearish. However, what is different from the Australian market is that weekly is right at trendline support and the trendline support held. These trend lines, automatically drawn smart trend lines called memory lines, they work beautifully, as you can see in case of Topix here, and I will show in several other markets, at least the Indian market, how beautifully it helps protect capital. And if you short it, you could make significant profit as well. I'll look at India market later. Let's continue with the Japanese market. Weekly stopped right at trendline support and daily, though opened with a gap down on Friday, recovered beautifully and closed above the trendline support. What is the direction? It is also sideways moving. Where is it in the sideways range? It's at the lower edge. What is my preferred trading direction? It will be long if price can go up from here. That will be bouncing up from both weekly and daily trendline support. What about China's CSI 300? weekly backdrop color bearish, shape bearish. Again, weekly as trend line support. Daily the trend line support is not showing, but that's fine. Every weekly trend line support is also understood to be a daily trend line support. Daily is bearish, coming down lower high, lower low. It's below the lower boundary. I'm not going to short. It is oversold for many days. Am I going to buy? Actually, yes. If price can go up from here, that will be bouncing up from a trend line support. That will give very low risk buying opportunity. And if I see market is going up, China market is going up, I will not buy CSI 300. You know that already. I don't like to buy the index or the ETF or future, because I can instantly drill down to the fundamentally strong stocks in CSI 300, see which one of them may also be reversing, probably also from trendline support, and buy those stocks. What is the direction? If we look at daily, the direction is downtrending. In a longer time frame, weekly time frame, it is moving sideways at the lower edge. That's why I am able to take a reversal trade from a lower edge of a sideways range, longer term interval sideways range. What about Nifty 50? India market. India market was one of the strongest markets globally. That is probably continuing. If we look at the weekly for last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, from here 2, 3, 4, 7 weeks, price is practically moving sideways. It didn't go up, didn't go down. In the daily, price did break below this trend line support on Friday. However, it is holding the yellow direction line. What is the trend? If we look at the daily, that is the interval we use for swing trading. What is the trend? We have to say it is moving sideways. Sideways after a long up move that is much more bullish than the other markets we saw so far. And of course, this pattern is much more bullish than the USA market. Now, I mentioned how we could use trendline support many times before. Notice this weekly trendline resistance. These resistances can also be used beautifully. When price came here, the resistance line was already there. Looking at that, you could stop buying stocks and you could protect profit in existing long positions. That would work very well because for last 2 weeks price came down and you could protect your capital, protect your profit. That's how trend lines help us to enter trades and also protect our capital. What is the trend? Sideways. What is my preferred trading direction? Here I don't have any preferred trading direction. What about UK's FTSE index? Weekly bearish color, bearish shape. However, here also it stopped right at the trend line support. And weekly has trend line support means daily has trend line support even if it is not visible. On top of that, daily also has this watermark support. Friday's candle has a long lower tail. Overall, Friday's candle is bearish, but still it has a lower tail. What is the direction? It is moving sideways again. Interesting, isn't it? This is the first week in a large number of weeks that we are seeing all the global markets are moving sideways. Where is it in the sideways range? At the lower edge. What is my preferred trading direction? It will be long side, bullish side, if price can go up next week. If that is the state of the individual global markets, how is the global index, custom index? If you look at longer term, you may say it is moving sideways. It is bound by trend line resistance and trend line support, so it's sideways. Shorter term, it is coming down, but we have to say, looking at the pattern, that it is in a range. Where is it inside the range? Somewhere in the middle. What is my preferred trading direction when it's in the middle of a sideways range? None. So I am neither inclined to take long or short in the global market. Indecisive. If you look at the relative performance line, this dashed line, you can see it is tilting up sometimes late July, early August, that from that time, late July time frame, and it is outperforming the market, outperforming USA market, but still it's not going anywhere, moving sideways in a range. We are seeing that USA market is underperforming for some weeks. We'll see whether that changes. No market continues to underperform another market forever. At some point, the roles will be reversed and USA market will start to outperform global markets. We don't know when it will happen, but when it happens, we'll come to know immediately from the Q charts. How is USA market now? USA market is very weak. Let's use TradeStation to look at the USA market ETFs. S&P 500 ETF SPY, weekly bearish, daily bearish. It has a long lower tail, stopped at the watermark support. Already dropped a lot with very high volume. Weekly has watermark support. Weekly has a bullish headwind around the same level. Am I going to short now? No, it is too late to short. Far below lower boundary, oversold for many days. Stop will be far away for a short trend. So I'm not going to short now. Am I going to buy? In fact, yes, if price can bounce up from the watermark support in daily and weekly both, then I'll not buy SPY, but I'll not mind looking at fundamentally strong stocks in SPY that are probably also giving reversal proper Q long trade setup. And of course, I'll look for trades where industry is also relatively stronger. What is the trend? If we look at weekly, we have to sorry, not weekly, our swing trading time frame is daily. If we look at daily, we have trend line resistance, no trend line support, so the trend is clearly downtrend. This is one example where trend is clearly downtrending, but my preferred trading direction next week is long if market can recover. That's a big if, isn't it? QQQ, it's downtrending, however, it stopped at the daily trend line support. Weekly fell but stopped at the watermark support. We had multiple bullish headwinds at the same level in weekly. Far below lower boundary, I'm not going to short, oversold for many days. Am I going to buy? Actually, yes, if price can bounce up from the trend line support. Will those trades make profit? I don't know, but all I know is that the stop loss will be narrow, so I'm okay to take a higher probability trade if price can go up next week. Dia, this week's candle is bearish, closed just below the watermark support in weekly. Daily is bearish but closed with a long lower tail. Why I say daily is bearish is because of the huge gap down move and price closed further below the open. Yes, it recovered from the low, but on a close to close basis, it's a significant down move. We can see here 1.55%. That's why I say Friday's candle is bearish, though the shape is not bearish. The daily candle itself is indecisive, and it has a watermark support in weekly. So if price can go up from here, that will regain the watermark in daily here, and I'll be able to take a low risk long trade in Dia as well. Will I short? No, it's already far below lower boundary, already oversold for many days. There is no low risk shorting opportunity here. And IWM, small cap ETF, again, you see all the ETFs are telling the same thing. On Friday, price closed above the daily and weekly trend line support. Friday's candle has a long lower tail. I am not going to short because it is well below lower boundary, oversold for many days. There is no low risk shorting opportunity. If price can go up, again a big if price can go up from the trend line support, it will give low risk buying opportunity for swing trading, not longer term investing, not even position trading, but swing trading, where the aim is to recover the risk and immediately book at least partial profit, and then we may hold partial position to see if profit can run. But aim of such a reversal trade from trendline support or watermark support after a sharp drop is to close at least partial profit as soon as the risk distance is covered. That is the key way of swing trading, especially in case of reversal trades. And all the market ETFs may give reversal buy setup if price can go up next week. As of Friday's close, there is of course no buy setup. What is the signal we are getting from market internals? Is it also telling it is oversold? Let's find out. This Q market breadth total view is a very powerful chart, single chart based on internals. What is going on inside the market? The yellow line is a very good gauge of is it overbought or oversold. Whenever the yellow line, percentage of stocks above 50 MA, goes above the upper threshold, the green line, then we know it is overbought. We start to consider shorts. When it goes below the lower threshold, the red line, we know that it is oversold, like right now, and we are getting ready to long. At least I am going to be ready to take longs, provided price can go up next week. 3-month new high low is another overbought oversold indicator that is also at the lowest extreme. From there I am expecting a recovery, but I will not buy until I see prices going up. Also, you see that starting from this day, when we had the distribution count of 2, we have a series of heavy distribution days. 2 distribution count, 3, 1, that's mild distribution count, and culminating into Friday's heavy selling. So as price is coming down, instead of selling pressure abating, we have the maximum selling pressure on Friday, at least in terms of distribution count. Friday, many things were sold, broad and deep selling in many market indexes, their constituent stocks. Now that is happening while the yellow line is oversold, the 3-month new high low is oversold. So I am getting ready to look for a recovery. However weak the market may be, market doesn't drop in one straight line, and however strong the market may be, it doesn't go up in a straight line, though sometimes it may feel like that. But in reality, it doesn't do that. In a very weak market also, it will go up little bit, and that little bit up move is enough for us to take a profitable swing trade. Again, because the trend is down here also, and this is a custom index for the total view of the market, that is also downtrending. So if we are looking for buy setups, that will be a reversal kind of buy setup. And in reversal setup, again, I try to book profit as soon as risk distance is covered, at least partial profit. So I will look for that. What will need to happen on the market breadth total view this chart for me to start buying earnestly? I need to see one of two things. One is a large accumulation count. Large accumulation count, two or more, and possibly a Eureka day. Eureka day that's designed by Mr. Ian Woodward, may him rest in peace. It's equivalent to follow through day, but in my view it's better than follow through day because it tends to come on the same day as Ken Slim's follow through day or before. So I may look for that, or I may look for the accumulation count. Accumulation count is even better than Eureka day because it tends to happen on the same day as Eureka day or before. So I'll get the earliest buying signal from large accumulation count. If that happens next week, and I'll start to buy more earnestly. When I buy based on current picture, what am I going to prefer, small cap or large cap? The small cap versus large cap for last few days, at least last 3-4 days, is coming down, so small cap is underperforming. So if market goes up based on the immediate past small cap versus large cap drawing, I am going to prefer buying non-small caps, so large cap or mega cap. What about growth versus value? Growth was underperforming for a while, and now it is moving inside a range. So from underperforming, growth underperforming, to growth becoming equal performing, if this improvement continues, then growth may start to go up. May. If I see that happening, I'll buy growth, but if it continues to equal perform, growth, value both are equal performing, then I'll be buying any of them. No preference for growth or value as of now. So again, I am happy to look for buy setups from the market internals also if I see price recovering next week. Now there is some other powerful signal if we look into NYSE and Nasdaq to tell us that we may get ready to buy. Not buy yet, but get ready to buy. And let's find that out. This is market breadth, but not of total view of Nasdaq and NYSE. If we want to look at the percentage of stocks above 50 MA, we see here also both the exchanges are oversold. If we look at the 3-month new high low, that is also oversold. And now we have some more additional signal, that is the down arrows on Thursday, Friday in Nasdaq and on Friday in NYSE. What are these down arrows? These down arrows are again created by Mr. Ian Woodward, coded in Q market breadth. These are called bingo, and in layman's terms, bingo is sell everything, even that of value. It's also known as the situation where baby is thrown out with the bathwater. Selling everything, even that of value. When does it happen? That happens when the smaller traders, retail traders, panic. And if you look at the chart, this tends to come just before the market starts to recover. If you have Q market breadth, you may go back and see that these panic sellings are happening mostly just prior to a market recovery. And is there a panic buying or euphoric buying? You may say not panic, euphoric buying. Yes, that is this up arrow. Also thanks to Mr. Ian Woodward, may him rest in peace. That's called Bango. And you may notice that Bango is almost always coming at the top. So Bango coming at the top, too euphoric, get ready to short, but wait for the proper Q short setup. And if you see Bingo, get ready to buy, but wait for the proper Q long trade setup. So these bingos sell everything, even those of value. These are panic selling happening at oversold condition, may lead to a price recovery. We may keep an eye for that. So that is another signal from Q market breadth that's telling us that don't short now, but get ready to buy. Not buy yet, but get ready. What about mega caps? Let's look at the mega cap custom index. What is the trend? Again, it is in a range created by very robust trend line resistance and support. Where is it? Inside the range at the lower edge. It held the trend line support on Friday. We also have two successive days of bullish indecision, and prior to that we had another 2 days of bullish indecision. In this master classes I mentioned one bullish indecision is important, but when we have a series of bullish indecision we take them even more seriously. These are not buy signals, but we get ready to buy, and in this case the bullish indecision is happening at daily trend line support. And interestingly, mega cap for the last couple of days is in fact outperforming the market. So I'll be happy to buy mega caps if price can recover from here, and of course I need some bullish signal from the market level as well. Let's look at this mega cap custom index using weekly daily both to see if there is a support in weekly. Well, the weekly trend line support happens to be broken this week. However, if it can go above this level, then it will regain the weekly trend line support, creating what is called a false downside breakout, that is an even more powerful buying pattern. So if price can go up next week at least so much as to regain the weekly trend line support, then I'll be happy to look for some of the mega caps that are fundamentally strong and look for buy setups there. Am I going to short? No. In a sideways range at the lower edge of the range, the low risk trades are on the long side, not short side, so I'm not going to short. So from every angle so far we have seen it's too late to short. We may look to buy provided the setups come next week. Are there other signals? I doubt we'll see any bullish signal, but is there other oversold signal? Yes, oversold signal is everywhere. Let's look at the Q edges breadth inside, that is sector, industry, stock, advanced decline breadth from 1 month to 1 day. This is as red as it gets. All the periods, if we see the sectors, all the sectors 100%, they are bearish for the long term 1 month 10-day period, medium term 5-day, and short term 2-day 1-day. Cannot get any more bearish than that. What about the industries? In fact, it cannot, hardly can get any more bearish than that. 1 month 100%, 10 days 100%, 5 days 100%, 2-day 100%, only 1 day 97%. How much more bearish can it get? Even at the stock level, this is like top-down analysis or bottom-up analysis, sector, industry, and then stock. If you look from the bottom, then bottom up. So top down, bottom up, both combined. Stock level also very bearish. It's very oversold. If we look at the bucket analysis, that is distribution of stocks across their Bollinger Bands, then also we see it is oversold. The lowest bucket, that is below lower Bollinger Band, shows oversold condition when the percentage hits 30 to 40%. Now it is 44.8%, let's say 45%. So it's very oversold. Another oversold signal that can come from this bucket analysis is if the lowest bucket jumps by more than 10% in one day. How much was the jump Friday? From about 7% to 44%. So about 37% jump. In this case, the jump means 37% of stocks fell below lower bound Bollinger Band. 37% fell below lower Bollinger Band in one day. That's a huge drop. And that also shows panic selling. Who sells at a market low level? Usually not the big people, the big funds. They are aware of what is happening in the market earlier. They either hedge or sell out earlier, and the smaller traders, retail traders, now only they are realizing that the market is not as bullish as it used to be. Now only they are realizing that recession may be coming. All the news is negative and they sold heavily on Friday. It's panic selling, sell everything, even that of value, as we saw from the bingo signal. So it's oversold. But we will not buy unless we see a bullish day, either large accumulation count or Eureka, or some signal from the sector industry stock breadth. That is the last column, that's real time performance. It will be real time performance during market hours. Unless we see this turning and remaining green next week, we will not buy. Market is oversold, but oversold does not mean we buy. We may get ready to buy, but we will not buy unless we get some bullish signal. What about technical breadth, the last dimension that we study for the market? The balance between bullish and bearish signals using Q Finder, first the weekly period, does not get much more bearish than this. 99% of all signals, 100% of strength signals, 99% of trend continuation, and 95% of reversal signals. Everything is bearish. There is no signal from the headwind. This may also give a signal to buy if next week I see the percentage of bullish headwinds becoming 1% or more. So we'll wait for that. We'll not be in a hurry to buy. Market is very oversold in weekly. What about daily? This is also very oversold. Very bearish. 94% of all signals, 99% of strength signals, 96% of continuation signals are bearish. Reversal signals are more bullish. However, in terms of absolute number, the reversals are very few. So strength and reversal taken together in this case is not bullish, it is remaining bearish. So Friday's pattern is also bearish. And a day when we see 60% of gap down open and very feeble absolute number of reversals, then we have to say that that is a bearish day. Is it oversold? Yes. Here also we see the oversold condition in terms of technical breadth, and that is seen from the place from where the bearish signals are coming. They are coming from price extreme low. 61% of them are coming from price extreme low. Whenever this percentage is more than 50%, then we are in oversold territory. Again, it's oversold condition, but we'll wait for a buy setup, and it is too late to short. Now, when I was getting ready for today's session, I was thinking that today's session will be much shorter than the usual time I take, about 1 hour, for the market recap, because there is no point trying to look for short setups now. It's too oversold and multiple market ETFs are at support, at or near support. So we are not going to short now. And at the same time, we are not going to buy because market is very bearish, oversold but very bearish. So we'll have to wait for a bullish day, some kind of breadth signal, either in edge or market breadth or technical breadth. That has not come yet. So there is not much point, at least from the Q techniques way, to look for any kind of trade setup. So I will not do that. Now, one thing I will mention that I mentioned earlier, that if you are following the trade ideas I share on the forum on my website superiorprofit.co, I always say if you follow the ideas I share, you have an idea what kind of trades I am taking, long or short or standing aside. And if you did that, if you look at the forum posts, when was the last long trade setup I shared for the USA market? All the trades are shared in this 360 degrees category. And if you see the last few ideas that I shared, they were not in USA market. The aim is not to share trading ideas or tips, but to show how the techniques can be applied. They can be applied in any country, any market. And last couple of ideas were in Indian market. Let's scroll down. Also Indian market, India market. Here is the last trade that I shared on the USA market, BKE. And after that, all the ideas were in the India market, and I showed that India market was the strongest of all the global markets. Even now it is strong. It's not in a buying condition anymore, but it was earlier, and I had shared some possible buy ideas. But when did I share the last buy idea in the USA market in BKE? Let's see, that was on September 1. And today we are on September 24th. So almost for 1 month I am not sharing any buy idea in the USA market. That would have alerted Q traders what I am doing, and that would have alerted, signaled the fact that I am not bullish anymore on the market. And notice the difference between many other retail traders. They are panic selling now, but I stopped buying long time ago. And not only me, anybody who is having all the Q signals, all the Q systems, they would have done a similar analysis and stopped buying long time ago. Or even if they bought, or even if I bought, those would be very small probing trades to see if they are working, if the market is reversing. Now interestingly, the last idea that I shared was BKE. And let's look at the analysis, why I shared it at that time. Again, 360 degrees analysis, looking at all angles. BKE's industry, apparel retail, on that day was one of the most accelerating industries. That allows us to buy in the industry. And another graphical form showed that the relative score jumped. The industry was still down on that day, but it was improving, accelerating, and the stock itself was up, BKE. The stock was undervalued, funds were accumulating, 51% of peer stocks were up, the company makes money, and I noticed in weak market, these are favored by many people, including myself, higher dividend yield stocks. This has, they decent dividend yield of 4.3%. And how was the chart? Though the market was already weakening, I showed as of that time BKE's daily chart was still showing higher high, higher low, and it could be bought if price could go up from the yellow direction line using the concept of the pullback setup. Now market had come down heavily. What was the title of my last bullish trade idea in the USA market? If you buy in this week market, and remember that is on September 1, not after almost 4 weeks after that. Long before I said, even that time, if you buy in this week market, look for the strongest stocks, and I analyzed BKE. Let's look at BKE's chart. I will think it has come down. Yes, it has come down, right? From 1st September. So 1st September, let's find out 1st September. From this day, it has come down. However, even as of Friday, it did not breach the low of the buying day on a closing basis. Close is here on Friday. Is this stock looking bearish? No. At worst, it is moving sideways in the daily chart, and the low of the buy day has not been breached yet. So if we applied the protection level as our stop, protection level would have been somewhere here. This was 1st of September when I shared it. This is the protection level that has not hit yet. So if somebody took the trade, it is still in play, it didn't get stopped out. And look at the heading of the post. If you buy in this weak market, look for the strongest stocks, and that is the proof of a strong stock that does not fall down even in such a weak market. And using Q systems, long before, almost 4 weeks before knowing the results, I could find a stock like that and share publicly. That is the value of the Q systems, and since then I have not shared any other trading idea in the USA market. It helps us trade, buy strong stocks, and also it helps us to stop buying stocks. I'll not look for trade ideas. As I mentioned, it's too late to short, too oversold, and not ready to buy. But you may use the Q systems, look for fundamentally strong stocks that are at a support level. How do you do that? Okay, there are many ways of doing that. One way will be to go to Q Finder, either go to weekly pattern, look for stocks that are touching trend line support, or go to the daily bullish signals, look for stocks that are touching trend line support, and then further check if they are fundamentally strong. If they are strong, they are touching trend line support, just like the market ETFs are touching either trend line or watermark support. You get ready with those stocks, but don't buy until you see market is giving some bullish signal. You could also use TradeStation Q Elites finder tools to find stocks that are touching trend line support. Here, if you drop the stocks in TradeStation's radar, this Q Finder template, you could look for stocks that are touching trend line support, and you could use either daily or weekly interval. Further, check stocks for fundamental strength and fundamental strong stocks at trend line support. Get ready with them. Buy only after you see the market is going up. Let's end today's session here. Thanks a lot for joining. I look forward to seeing you in my next market recap next week. Have a great weekend, and as these examples show, there is no reason not to trade profitably, and there is no reason not to stop trading when the market starts to weaken. You can find that out probably well ahead of others using the Q systems. Thank you.